Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Sagittarius. Doesn't matter if it's sun, moon, rising, or any other placement in your chart. There may be a message in here for you. Or if you're just feeling drawn to it for whatever reason, you may not even have Sagittarius in your chart. Just take it if it resonates. Sagittarius, so a couple of messages coming in for you. The first one is that I did a reading. I think it was a Sagittarius reading. I can't remember. I just remember the title. It was called Guided by the Creator. So I'm going to link it above just in case it has a message for you or resonates for you at this time. I haven't watched it back before doing this. I'll probably watch it after I do this reading, but I think it was a Sagittarius reading. Okay, there's this other energy of like optimism. I don't know if this is you. It kind of feels like this is your energy, Sagittarius. Like your energy feels very optimistic. So even though there may be sort of like clouds or that kind of thing, problems, issues, like things that you need to take care of, there's this energy of like silver lining or rainbows, that kind of energy of optimism. And I feel like it may actually be bothering someone in your vicinity. So just being aware of that. It's kind of coming through like, let's say like someone's having a bad day or something, and you Sagittarius, sort of like have this attitude of like, oh, things will get better, you know, that kind of thing. And they're just not hearing that, or that they like find that really annoying. So that's just kind of going through like that. So just being aware of that, like sometimes optimism can be very annoying to people who are not in that energy. Anyways, so we're gonna get started. It might be flipped. Maybe you're having a bad day and there's someone who's just like looking on, like someone who's just like really getting on your nerves for whatever reason. You know, take it how it resonates. Okay, the Cave and Thanatos came out, but I'm not going to take it. That's interesting. Because the Lord of the Rings tarot wanted to be used for this reading. And this is coming in with a lot of Lord of the Rings energy. If you're familiar with the... is it the third one? Where they go into the cave. Frodo and Sam go into the cave where there's a spider. Anyways, I'm not going to take those because I feel like that's not your energy. I wasn't quite ready. So Sagittarius, reading for today. The Creator card almost popped out. I feel like there was something else that I was supposed to say. Okay, so you may be I'm getting this sort of energy of healing for you, but through somebody that you may not have expected there to be healing from, is how it's coming through. Like, I feel like you're connecting with someone. It could be spiritually or astrally, or it could just be like, it might be like a new guide or something like that for you. Where this energy is helping you to heal something that maybe you didn't even realize that needed healing, or that like, or if you did need healing, but it kind of feels like maybe it was something that has been like on the relative grand scheme of things, maybe didn't feel like that big of an issue to you, Sagittarius. That's how it's coming through. There may be also like past, like mentors from the past that you may be like it may be coming up again, or you're being reminded of them, like old teachers or like mentors, whatever word you want to put there, who perhaps like you did not see how good of a teacher they were, is actually kind of how it's coming through. Like maybe there were like I don't know, for whatever reason you weren't seeing them clearly when you knew them, but now looking back at their influence, perhaps you're seeing it as a very positive influence that they had on you. So that's how it's coming through. There also might be healing through that as well, like sort of like looking back at mentors of the past that maybe when you knew them didn't like, it didn't register how good of a teacher they actually were. That's how it's coming through. Okay. Interesting. Okay, yeah, so you have the Orphan, Kairos, and the One card, which is interesting. And then the Mountain also flipped, but like not upright, so I'm not going to take that one. Yeah, the Orphan, that's how the Orphan is coming through with an energy of like something that you need, something that you are in need of. It is kind of talking about like healing an inner child energy, right? Because the Orphan comes through with the wounded child. Like, you have the Forest at the bottom of the deck. And with Kairos, this is an energy of like divine timing. It also talks about past, present, and future to me. For some reason, I don't know why, I feel like I read a book somewhere that had like this kind of imagery in it. It reminds me of a doorbell. Like knocking on some sort of door with the Orphan. Maybe you are knocking on some sort of door, which is interesting. Okay, mythic time synchronicity. We have all had the experience of timelessness, of life beyond the ticking of the clock. It may be felt as time standing still, slow motion, or losing track of time on a walk or in a lovely conversation. This is known as mythic time, and it is the territory of Kairos. This card suggests there is a secondary time continuum that goes beyond any earthly clocks and schedules. Within this nonlinear realm, we access divine timing. A single moment ripens with auspiciousness, and our actions change the trajectory of our whole life. Time becomes a living thing that watches over us and tells us precisely when to speak or act. When this card appears, it is all about patience and precision. No clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of inner knowing and not a moment longer. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Maybe something needed time to develop. So for the Orphan, it says, take refuge in the fact that we all share this core wound and dilemma. It is normal to fear this card, as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What is the deepest gift you could imagine giving to others? What has been rejected is quite possibly what is most needed, dear one. Yeah. There may be something about like art that you're creating that reveals something about what the Orphan is needing. the wounded child energy within yourself. Okay, the 1 card. Our ability to experience this archetype firsthand is limited. It comes in brief and potent moments that we are left to savor for a lifetime. The 1 is both the energy that unites all living beings and our capacity to sense this intimate union. This archetype eludes us most of our lives, appearing as a concept in a distant galaxy. Yet when we are in the midst of its power, a solemn reverence falls across all the land. We glimpse ourselves in the vastness of all consciousness and are neither small nor large within that field. We are neither important nor unimportant. All duality fades away and we are left with what is, the precious knowing that life is a gift and we are both the giver and the receiver of this fortune. Yeah. So perhaps, Sagittarius, you're finding this energy of oneness within yourself by integrating this aspect of the orphan card, the orphan energy, like the wounded child energy within yourself that you're healing. Perhaps there was an aspect within yourself, especially with the wounded child, that could be a really difficult card to work through, or difficult energy to work through, of recognizing where perhaps you had needs that were unmet as a child, for example, that stay with us, right? Until those needs are met is how it's coming through. Perhaps here with the Kairos right in the center, there's some sort of healing that happened, like it's the right time for this healing to happen is how it's coming through. I keep getting a doorbell or like knocking on a door for some reason with this card. Perhaps it has something to do with like asking for help from someone. Okay. I feel like Sagittarius, because of the Lord of the Rings, I feel like you are going on some sort of adventure. But with the cave and the Thanatos that came out sort of at the beginning, it may be sort of there may be like mysteries there that you might feel uncomfortable with seeing, is how it's coming through. You may be uncomfortable with seeing some of the things that are in the cave. And the Forest card also comes through with that energy of like, there's the shadow underneath that. The Forest card talks about a place of like sort of being lost. Being lost, like uncovering mysteries. Make the Myomancer. That's a card about reading signs. There may be sort of like little things that are happening for you. Like very, very little occurrences in your life that may sort of be indicating like a bigger pattern that is occurring for you. And pay attention to things that repeat. Like the last time I pulled this card for myself, there was this something like there was a thing. Sorry, let me gather my words for a second. Okay, the last time this card came out for myself, something happened on that day where it was like two separate instances, right? Two separate instances. And pay attention to that kind of energy where it's like synchronicity like that, where like things, two separate things that sort of connect. Anyways, where I was looking for something. Like just like something in the kitchen, I was looking for a specific utensil or whatever. And then another time I was in my room and looking for like a rubber band that I had placed to the side, right? Both instances where I was looking for something. And I couldn't find it because it wasn't in the place that it normally was, or that I thought I'd left it last, right? So it's like I looked for longer than I like should have, I think, for both of those times in the same day. And then when I stopped looking, like I just gave up. I was like, okay, whatever. I'll use something else, or I'll leave it. It'll turn up eventually. As soon as I turned around, it was there. It was in like a very obvious place. Anyways, so that energy is coming through because those two like very small instances were also just like revealing things about like my ability to find a solution to me that was actually very obvious. Like that, it's that kind of energy. Anyway, so there may be something like that happening for you where there are like very small occurrences, perhaps happening multiple times in a day or in a couple of days. Like it doesn't have to be in a day, but in a certain time frame that it at least is drawing your attention, that has something to do with this orphan energy. Maybe there's something that you're trying to avoid, Sagittarius. It does kind of feel like something that you're trying to avoid. The Lamb coming out next. This is coming out under the Kairos card. Okay, I'm going to read that one. This one talks about unconditional giving and receiving. Okay, so if you are stuck or blocked in a situation and the Lamb turns up in a reading, you probably need to stop focusing on what you are trying to accomplish and simply give to others freely and generously and unconditionally. Try a few random acts of kindness, unconditionally given, of course. Go do some volunteer work somewhere. Mow your elderly neighbor's lawn, or take homemade soup or some flowers from your garden to someone you know who is ill. Give some help to a coworker just because they need it. Give to a needy stranger whether or not you think he deserves it. Take flowers into a hospital and give them to a stranger at random, or give them to a nurse with compliments from the universe. Give a bit more than you think you can afford. Go a little further than you think you reasonably can. Empty your wallet or purse of all your cash for a beggar on the street. Don't worry, it will fill up again much faster than you might expect. Sometimes we put restrictions on our receiving. That's really interesting. That phrase was sticking out to me in the reverse position, especially with the orphan, right? Because, so, yeah, okay. Sometimes we put restrictions on who or what we receive from, right? Like, because it could be that the universe is trying to give to you, period, is trying to give to you. But you may be saying, well, I'm not receiving from the thing that I want to receive from, right? It's like the universe is trying to give to you, but not from a source that you want to receive from. Maybe there could be some sort of like restriction, like I don't want help from that person, I want help from this person. When it's like for the universe, it doesn't really matter where it comes from, is how it's coming through. So there may be something here, Sagittarius, where it's like maybe you have restrictions on who you receive from for whatever reason. That maybe the universe is asking you to like open up more in terms of like who you receive from, or perhaps who you are giving to as well. There's resistance there, though. There's resistance there. She of the Kruak, yeah, underneath the 1 card. This is Divine Feminine Energy. And the Unity card at the bottom of the deck. So you have Unity twice in your reading, Sagittarius. That is quite significant. I feel like you have maybe you just have like a very strong connection at the moment. Yeah, the receptive principle, nurturing and fertility. She of the Kruak may indicate a form of pregnancy, a necessary time of nurturing and development. We need to be open to her overflowing grace. She may also indicate a need to allow her nurturing grace to flow through us to others in the form of unconditional love and giving and spiritual healing. She tells us of the need for unconditional receiving, of making the best of what we are offered. She also reminds us that unbounded love and grace is ours, just waiting to be accepted. The presence of this card in a reading radiates comfort and nurturing to the cards around it. Yeah, it is kind of coming through, Sagittarius, with like an energy of receiving. Like you're being, like maybe there's this energy of like, someone's trying to give to you, but you're refusing to receive from them in that way. Or there's like, maybe refusing is a bit too harsh of a word, but like, it's like not exactly what you imagined. Maybe there's a bit of pride coming in here. Because it does feel like receiving help from somebody. But it's like, I don't know. There's something about that feels kind of like... It's kind of feeling like pride. I'm just going to say it like that. Sagittarius, like, I don't need that person's help, or I don't know, whatever it is. It kind of feels like I don't need that person's help. But that might be coming from the wounded child energy, right? Like, You have a lot of support here. You have a lot of support, Sagittarius, it feels like. Okay, so 10 of Swords, 9 of Cups. Yeah, okay. So 10 of Swords coming out under the Orphan, right? That's a tough karmic cycle. That's like is how it's coming through. Like it could be something about like with the 9 of Cups though, it's like despite sort of the difficulties that you've gone through, right? Despite the difficulties you've gone through, you're in the 9 of Cups, which feels like very emotionally strong. You can take care of yourself, right? Sagittarius, that's how it's feeling to me. It's coming through with like, there may be like pride about that. I'm saying pride as in like, you've accomplished something. It is something to be proud of. In this case where it's like, you have overcome the 10 of Swords. You've worked through pain and trauma and hurt and all of this sort of like wounded energy, and made yourself very emotionally strong, right? But there's this energy here of like, I feel like the memory of this 10 of Swords is perhaps keeping you from receiving from other people is how it's coming through. Like, because you know how to take care of yourself is how it's feeling with the 9 of Cups. It's it's feeling incredibly like independent in a way where it like so independent that other people find it difficult to give to you. Like, it's kind, because it's like you have everything, Sagittarius. You can take care of yourself, right? Like it's that kind of energy. So what I would say to that is it's okay to accept help from people, especially like you don't have to do things by yourself all the time. But there may also be, because this 10 of Swords is still here, it may also be like this memory or belief, because it is swords, like your belief system about other people not giving to you in the way that you need, right? Like, well, that no one else knows what I need. No one else can give me what I need. So I'm just gonna stay focused on myself, right? Which when you're healing, that is incredibly important, right? To learn how to give to yourself. But I feel like there's this energy wants to heal and be released is how it's coming through. There is like a very healing energy around you. Knight of Swords. And the Wheel of Fortune coming out underneath the Kairos card. Yeah, I feel like there's something has changed. Something is changing. It is time for something is how it's coming through. The Knight of Swords though, that's feeling past to me. Okay, this is so random, but the things in like the back columns of this in this card are reminding me of there's this highway that runs through downtown Toronto, and they, I don't know, a few years ago now, I don't remember when exactly it was, but they took down parts of the highway, and there are just like pieces of like concrete that look like this that just sort of stand in parts of Toronto. That's what it's looking to me like. So like a highway that was dismantled, which is interesting. So maybe it's kind of coming through as being like a broken bridge energy. Especially with this Knight of Swords. This is Boromir in The Lord of the Rings, if you're familiar with that character. he's a bit confrontational at times, and like but in the end redeemed himself, in my opinion. There could be somebody that you have conflict with. A broken bridge is how it's feeling with the Knight of Swords. Perhaps because of that, you've blocked yourself off from receiving, like, from a particular relationship or something like that. The Star. the star coming out underneath the She of the Cruach, yeah. And the 1 card. So this is talking about healing, right? It's healing, but this card with the star also talks about unconditional love as well. Like love that's just given freely with no expectation of return. I feel like there's that kind of energy that's wanting to give to you. Like a gift or something like that. Or if it's not, like, when I say gift, it's not necessarily something tangible, right? Like, it's like, it's feeling like healing, unconditional healing and love from this oneness energy. King of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, and the World. Yeah. It's like supportive energy. It's like people who support you, who want to work together and collaborate and all of this. I feel like, though, there's something about there's an energy here of rejection. Either you are rejecting somebody or somebody's rejecting you. I feel like, Sagittarius, you're rejecting somebody, though. It feels like that. You're rejecting somebody's help is how it's coming through. Maybe because it's not like... Well, why would that be? Okay, so it could be like a fear of, like, if you allow this person to help you, like, they'll be close enough to you that they, like, it would cause, like, because it is kind of feeling like you don't want to be vulnerable to this person is how it's coming through. You don't want to be vulnerable to whoever this person is that is... I don't even know if they're offering help or whatever it is. It kind of feels like you don't want to let this person close to you. Because then it's this feeling of being vulnerable to them is how it's feeling. And that feeling of being vulnerable is coming from the orphan energy, right? Like, so it could be like a fear or a wound or something that goes back real far, like really, really far, with sort of this child energy. Like, so it could be like a childhood wound or something like that. Perhaps this person triggers that within you. Knight of Wands. Queen of Rings, which is interesting. Knight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. I feel like with the Knight of Wands, it's kind of feeling like this energy of like dependability with the Queen of Pentacles. Like, being able to depend on other people might be part of the Ten of Swords. And maybe in the past there were people or relationships that you couldn't actually depend on, right? That might be part of the orphan energy of like not having people that you could depend on, that weren't reliable or didn't provide the structure or the whatever it is that you needed, is how it's coming through. Because the Knight of Wands can be that, like, sort of in and out, inconsistent energy, like not dependable. Essentially, that's how it's coming through. But maybe somebody that you actually did depend on, but their energy was undependable, independable, whatever it was, not dependable. Eight of Cups. Okay, so maybe you're walking away from something that's not satisfying to you. Because it could be something with the Queen of Pentacles, right? Like, I feel like that's you, Sagittarius. Like, the Queen of Pentacles, where, like, again, it's coming out underneath the Nine of Cups, where it's like you are incredibly strong, independent, you can take care of yourself and others. It feels like with the Queen of Pentacles, you can take care of yourself and others, but perhaps this one is not, like, this energy here. Maybe you're still attached to this person, the Knight of Wands, like wanting to take care of this person when their energy is coming through at the Ten of Swords. That might not be satisfying to you anymore. Like, because it could have something to do with codependency, right? Like, with the orphan energy especially, like that's a really tough one to sort of work through, of like, because maybe this person, whoever this Knight of Wands is to you, represents some form of stability or like validation maybe that you receive, or like something like that. But maybe that's not what you need anymore, is how it's coming through. Because it kind of feels like they're representing something like safety, or like comfort, or validation. But it might not be something that you need anymore, is how it's coming through, because there's all of this energy here that actually feels more like, because this character, just as a metaphor, right? This character in this deck is Sam's father, who's not even in the original series, so I don't know why they included him in this deck. He's not even a character in the story. So it's kind of coming through like that. Like, this person is not present. That's how it feels, that they're not present. But there is all of this, the potential for all of this energy, all of this like collaboration, unconditional love and healing. But it's like, Sagittarius, I'm feeling like this energy of like being really independent, or holding on to something that is not going to help you move forward in whatever way. Justice, yeah. Justice. Seven of Swords. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, there's okay, Sagittarius. So there's an energy here, because this Justice card is coming through with your energy, Sagittarius. Because it could be something of like it's coming through like running from destiny with the Seven of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. Like, because if you notice here, the Four of Pentacles, one of the pentacles is broken, right? Which would lead to the Three of Pentacles. Like, it kind of feels like maybe you're rejecting some sort of collaboration here. The Three of Pentacles with the World, Justice, and King of Swords. You're rejecting a collaboration. Four of Cups. Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Yeah, the Empress at the bottom of the deck. There's this really like strong feminine energy coming through. A really strong feminine energy coming through. So there may be healing happening in your feminine energies, right? Like your feminine energies are healing. Because this Queen of Cups is coming through as star energy as well. Like healing, emotional energy perhaps. With this Queen of Swords, because very strong feminine energy where like maybe there's something about like feeling like you like people are telling you that you can't do something is how it's coming through. Like it's kind of like somebody's challenging your, well, maybe not challenging, right? But it's kind of like, that might be how you're seeing it. Someone might be trying to help you, but it may come off to you, or like, especially if you're like really hyper independent of like, oh, I don't need your help. You don't have to, like, it's kind of coming through as like, feeling like somebody is telling you that you can't do something. That might make you more determined to do it, right? Like, if you tell me that I can't do something, that's going to make me want to do it more. That's how it's coming through. Because you have King of Swords, Queen of Swords in your spread today. Three Pentacles, Four Pentacles. I feel like there's this energy of like, you would be great partners, but someone doesn't want to collaborate because they want to do it by themselves, is how it's coming through. I'm not saying that as a good or bad thing, Sagittarius. I'm not saying that you have to do this or whatever. You do you. I'm just reading the energy here. It's kind of looking like a potential partnership, but one person, whether that be you or the other, is saying no to the partnership or the collaboration. Perhaps not partnership, but collaboration, because it's coming out with Three of Pentacles. A potential to work together, maybe, because one person feels that accepting help from whoever this is would be like admitting defeat. That's what it is. Like admitting defeat, or saying like admitting that like they were unsuccessful at something, or Anyways, I feel like there's healing that is happening through this. It feels like healing of feminine energies, like about receiving, because it feels kind of like there's resistance about receiving help, is how it's feeling. Resistance about receiving help for whatever reason, because it feels kind of like maybe somebody in the past, like, I don't know, took advantage of someone, or like there was a wounding about like receiving help from someone, but that it wasn't actually reliable or dependable or trustworthy assistance, or that it actually caused more difficulties, or that it wasn't reliable, is how it's feeling. The help was not reliable. And so somebody became really independent. Like, I can't rely on other people. There might be like a wounding associated with that, like not being able to rely on other people, which is making it difficult for someone to receive help from someone who may actually be very dependable. Okay. I'm going to leave it there, Sagittarius. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.